Hello everyone. So this is the last part of the chapter that we were studying till now, that was chapter 8, plants. So let's see what is going to be studied today. We will learn about flower and its parts, then we will discuss something about pollination, and then we will discuss about fruit and seeds and their parts. So starting with the flowers, what are flowers? Flowers are the reproductive part of a plant. So it is because of a flower only that a new plant is formed with the help of a seed. So they help in giving rise to a new plant by forming seed inside them. They help not only in reproduction, but they are also a source of food for other living organisms. What kind of living organism depend upon flower for their food? They are the insects. Because flowers are a rich source of nectar, the insects and butterflies, they depend on the flowers for their food and nectar. Flowers are attractive part of the plant and they appear in different colors, shapes and sizes. As you can see in the picture, I have displayed 5 diagrams of different types of flower. The first flower is of a hibiscus. The second is a marigold flower, the third is a rose flower, fourth is a tulip flower, and the last one is sunflower. So these all the flowers are differently shaped as well as they are in different size and colors. So even though the shape, size and color of the flowers can vary from one plant to the other, but their basic structure remains the same. So let's study about the structure of the flower first. So a hibiscus flower is an ideal flower to discuss about the structure of a flower. In case if you have a hibiscus flower, you can go out and you can check all the different parts clearly in them. So let's start with just the different parts of the flower, and later on in the coming slides we will discuss about the function of each of the part. So the largest part of a flower are their petals. So there can be 3 petals to numerous 10 to 50 petals in a single flower. Then the green colored portion right below the petal are known as sepals. They are used only when the flower is in the bud stage. Then this yellow colored part that you can see is known as the anther of the flower, and right below the anther there is a thin thread like stalk which is known as filament. So both anther and filament, they make up stamen. So this entire, from the head of this yellow colored structure till the end of this filament, this entire structure is known as stamen, and stamen is the male reproductive part of a flower. Now coming on to the next part, this green colored portion is known as the stigma. The top portion is known as stigma. The central portion, which is a tube like structure, is known as the style, and the style connects to the ovary. So all these 3 things, from style, stigma to ovary, they comprise pistil. So this entire central structure is known as the pistil, and pistils are the female reproductive part of a flower. Now inside the ovary there are few ovules present. They can either one ovule or they can be more than one ovule also in a flower. It is the ovule that later on develops into a seed. So you know that some fruits, they have only one seed like mango, and there are some fruits who have more than 50 seeds. For example, watermelon and papaya. So starting with the petals now, as we have discussed that these are the petals, these are the things that surround the outermost portion of the flower. So this is a bright colored part that attracts bees, insects and birds. Colors of petal, they vary from plant to plant. So in some plant you will see the petals are very brightly colored, while in some other plants the petals are pale colored or very dull in color. Petals help us to differentiate one flower from the another, and it is a petal that contains nectar for the insects. Now the next part is the sepals. These two parts that you can see in the picture is known as the sepals. So sepal is the green colored part which is present right beneath the petals. The number of the sepals can vary from 3 to 6. So it is mainly working to protect the buds which are enclosed in them. So before the flower actually blooms, it is in the bud state. So it is then when the sepal protects the flower. Now coming on to the stamens. We have already discussed that stamens have two parts. So the first part or the head of the stamen is known as the anther, and the anther is supported on a stalk-like structure which is known as the filament. So both anther and filament are the two parts of stamen. So stamens are the male reproductive organ of a flower, and it consists of two parts that are anther filaments. The anther is a yellowish sac-like structure. Sac-like means a pouch-like structure which is involved in producing and storing the pollens. Pollen are the yellow powdery substance that sometimes when you touch the anther of a plant, then you see there is a yellow powdery substance that is transferred on your fingers. So that yellow powdery substance is known as pollen, which is produced by the anthers. Then the filament is a slender thread-like object which functions by supporting the anther. So the only function of the filament is to support the anther. In a flower, there are always more than 2 to 3 stamens. Now the next important part of a flower is pistil, and we have already discussed that it is divided into 3 parts, that is known as style, stigma and ovary. So this is the innermost part and the female reproductive organ of a flower. It comprises of 3 parts. The top one is the stigma. Stigma is connected to a tube-like structure which is style, and style is connected to the ovary. First, something about stigma. Stigma is the sticky part which makes pollen grains from stamen stick to it. So we have discussed that the powdery substance that is produced by the anthers are known as pollen grains. So stigma, the surface of stigma is sticky. Because of its sticky surface, the pollen grain is able to stick with the stigma, and later on the pollen grain travels from the stigma to reach to the ovary. Then the style. Style is the long tube-like slender stalk that connects stigma and the ovary. The only function of style is to connect stigma to the ovary. Then the last part of the pistil is ovary, which is the swollen base. You can see at the bottom of the pistil there is the swollen base which is known as ovary. Ovary contains ovules, and later on, after the fertilization, after the pollen grain reaches the ovule and mixes with it, this process is known as fertilization. So after this, the ovary, it converts into a fruit. Then ovule. Ovules are that part of the flower that changes into a seed after the development of a fruit. Pollination. Pollination is the process of transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of a flower. So it is only the transfer of pollen grains. Pollination is brought about by insects, wind, water or animals, and all these things that help in bringing about pollination are known as the agents of pollination. Here in these two pictures you can see the various insects that are helping in pollination. So unknowingly they are being covered with this yellow powdery substance which is the pollen grain, and whenever they go and sit around the stigma, then they transfer it from their body to the stigma. Now the types of pollination. There are basically two types of pollination. First is self-pollination. Here in the picture you can see it's written A and B. Where it's labeled as A, there the transfer of pollen grains takes place from the anther to stigma of the same flower. And where it is labeled as B, there the transfer of pollen grain is taking place from anther to the stigma of other flower, but that flower is also in the same plant. So whenever there is a transfer of pollen grain within the same plant, then it is known as self-pollination. Whereas where it is labeled as C, there you can see the transfer of pollen grain is taking place between two different plants. From one plant, the pollen grain is being transferred to the flower of the other plant. So that case will be called as cross pollination. Now about fruits and seeds. Pollination leads to fertilization, and fertilization is the process of fusion of pollen grain with the ovule. Fusion means mixing. The pollen grain, it enters the stigma and then it reaches to the ovary where it mixes with the ovule, and that process of mixing is known as fusion. So fusion of pollen grain and ovule is fertilization. So always after pollination, fertilization will take place, and because of fertilization only fruits and seeds are formed. So after the fertilization, ovary converts to fruit and ovules convert into seeds. Always remember, fertilization will work only when the pollination is taking place between the same species. Means a mango plant will start the development of its fruit only when the pollen from one mango flower will reach to stigma of another mango flower only. The species must be same. So pollen from apple flower, if it is being transferred into the mango flower, then nothing will happen, no fertilization will take place. So always for the fertilization to take place, the pollination should be between the same species. Now the parts of a fruit. The outermost covering of a fruit is known as pericarp. In some of the fruit we eat the pericarp, while in some we just peel away and we throw the pericarp because it doesn't taste good. For example, in case of an apple we eat the pericarp, but in case of a mango we peel it off and we throw it away. Then the fleshy part of the fruit is the matured ovary, the ovary which has developed. And then in the center you have seed. You may have more than one seed in the center, and the seed is the matured ovule. And the last topic for today is the parts of a seed. All the seeds are covered by a cover which is known as the seed coat. This provides protection to the content that is present inside the seed. Then the content that is present inside the seed is known as the seed cotyledon. In some seed you have one cotyledon, while in other seeds you have two cotyledon. For example, the gram, chana, kidney beans, you can see two cotyledons. You can split it into two parts. But in case of a wheat seed or a rice seed, there you have only one cotyledon. And the function of the cotyledon is to store the food for the baby plant. And where is the baby plant? This is embryo, which is known as the baby plant also, because when it gets favorable conditions, means when it will get appropriate nutrient and water, then it starts its development into the baby plant, and the root starts growing first out of the seed, which is visible to us, and then we call it as seed germination. So that's all for today. Your chapter 8 plants is over. I'll send you the written notes which you can complete till 31st of July. So that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.